As you may or may not know, I am an advocate of physical media, and my main reasoning behind that is that once I have it physical in my hand, nobody can take it away from me. I can't lose the rights to play it. I will always have access to it regardless of whether it gets removed from a subscription or I lose access to the account, etc. It's just there in my hand. It's on my shelf. I can play it whenever I want. And there will generally be two types of people. One that don't want any physical media whatsoever. It's archaic. I don't want it. I'm all digital. I like the convenience of it. I can buy games digitally. I can download them for free with certain subscriptions. I say free, you know what I mean. And it's just there. It's convenient. It's a tile on the screen. I click the tile. I'm in. And that's what I actually love about Hell Let Loose. I can just click it and I'm there. I'm playing within minutes. Whereas if I had the disc and I was playing another game, I'd have to get up and swap the disc. It is a bit of a pain, but it's not that big a deal really when you break it down. Of course, the other person is someone like me who wants to preserve physical media. We love having libraries of games on our shelves. They're nice to look at. We like collecting them. We get a rush when we pick up a new game, when we see something we don't have in our collections. It's a good price. We put it on the shelf. Oh, I like it. Bit of a dopamine rush. Right, let's go and get the next one. But also on top of that, I know it's not going anywhere. I know it can't be taken away from me. I have it forever. Unless it's an online only game, of course, that's different. But if it's got a single player, I know that in 10, 20, 50 years time, won't be around then, but I will be able to play it then. It's not a case of, oh, I wonder if it's on Game Pass or PS or this or that or the other. It's there in my hand, I can play it. The other thing, of course, and it's not something that gets spoken about a lot, although I'm sure it will be now, the prices of online digital services are becoming a bit of a joke. Now, if you buy the game digitally, we're not talking streaming services here, we are talking just buying it through the PlayStation or Xbox online store, having it stored on your console. That's a little bit different. However, when it comes to subscription services, the prices will only ever go up. They are never going to come down. What you see now for a certain subscription is the cheapest it will ever be. EA Play is what has prompted me to make this video. As I'm sure many and nearly all of you are aware, EA have just price hiked their EA Play service on PlayStation for seemingly no reason. They've not added any single one perk. They've not given you anything extra whatsoever. And also, on top of the price hike, which is astronomical by the way, and we'll get there in a second, they've not even said why they're doing it. They've just done it. It's gone from $19.99 for a 12-month subscription to a whopping $35.99 for a 12-month subscription. That is ridiculous. It's over an 80% increase on the original price. And don't quote me on this, but I'm almost certain it was meant to happen in May, and it's just live now anyway, so you can't even like, well, I'll buy it now for 12 months before it goes tough. It's already $35.99 on the store. This is essentially just PlayStation's problem, which is unfortunate for PlayStation users who had EA Play and who are due to renew anytime soon, because now you have to pay like over 80% more in order to renew it for 12 months. If you're on PC or Xbox, of course, it's tied into your Game Pass subscription, which I'm sure many or nearly all of you will have if you are on those platforms, specifically Xbox. I'm not entirely sure whether the Xbox Game Pass prices have just gone up or they're about to go up, but at the moment, if you want the core subscription on console, it's $6.99. You don't get EA Play with that, but it basically gives you access to online play. You do get free games, you do get some discounts, and you have access to like about 25 high quality games, as they say. The PC version of this gives you access to new games on day one. This is the best version of this, by the way. This is an insane price. $7.99 is so well priced for the PC version of this. EA Play, day one, hundreds of high quality games in the back catalogue. And then of course, if you want that ultimate subscription, which is basically for console users more than anything else, you do get EA Play, of course, online play. You do get those day one deals, you get that back catalogue, and of course you get member deals, discounts and perks. $12.99. Essential is 60 quid a year, and what it says here is they give you monthly games, online multiplayer and exclusive discounts. And then they have their extra service, which is $99.99 for a 12-month subscription. They give you a game catalogue and you have access to Ubisoft Plus, as well as all the essential perks and benefits as well. And then they have the premium package, which is 120 quid for the 12-month subscription, you get everything I just said, but you also get cloud streaming and you get game trials. So I don't know whether that's 3, 5, 10 hours of a game, maybe 20, I'm really not sure. But either way, you don't get EA Play, and their game library is absolutely nowhere near as extensive as the Game Pass equivalent, and I don't think you get day one for anything either. So 120 quid a year is a lot of money. It's actually less than what a 12-month Ultimate Game Pass subscription would cost you, but that does offer you a lot more. Now, of course, if we were to talk movies, things are getting a little bit out of hand. Amazon, for example, they don't just offer movies, of course, you do get delivery in there as well, which I'm sure a lot of people have. We have it. Those prices went up recently. It's now £95 a year, $8.99 a month. If you're a student, for some reason, you get it much cheaper than that. It's like 47 quid a year. But I don't think it's terrible because of the amount of people who will use the delivery. You know, the movies, if anything, are just a nice perk on top. £95 for a 12-month subscription of free delivery. With the amount that people use Amazon, myself included, you do actually get that back. And because they give you movies and TV shows on top of that, I don't think that's a bad deal. Then, of course, you have one of the biggest rip-offs in streaming service history, I guess, and that's Netflix. This thing is mental. So $4.99 is the cheapest you can get it for, but with ads. 2 people can use it at the same time, but you have to watch adverts. I don't know how long the adverts are. If you have the standard with ads, let me know. The standard 1080p no adverts is more than double the price at 11 quid a month. And then if you want 4K streaming, it's going to cost you 18 quid a month. Yes, you can watch it on 4 devices at the same time, but of course, again, you have to be in the same house. No adverts, of course. I wouldn't expect them for 18 quid a month. We had this. I am not paying £18 a month for 4K films. Yes, they look phenomenal. I don't care. We've downgraded to the 1099, and in fact, we are going to bin this off altogether very, very soon. You know, half the time we just don't want to watch anything. So I'm paying £11 a month for something that I use very rarely. Like when Stranger Things comes out, I'll binge watch that 2 or 3 times over. We'll watch Breaking Bad every few months. We watched Friends recently all the way through, which I have on DVD, and up until fairly recently I did have on Blu-ray as well, but I just don't really need it, you know. I can get it elsewhere. You can buy it physically much, much cheaper and have it forever than pay for a Netflix subscription. So yes, we're talking movies here, but this does go hand in hand with video games as well. But it's just that you watch movies and TV shows, or rewatch, I should say, movies and TV shows far more than you would replay a game. So for example, if I bought Breaking Bad on Blu-ray, season 1 to 5, how much is it going to cost me? Not a lot. I could probably get the whole thing for under a tenner. In fact, I have the final season brand new and sealed on Blu-ray, and it cost me £1 from Poundland. It's not expensive. And okay, with things like Game of Thrones, it might, you know, peak and trough here or there. Certain prices might go up and whatever, but in general, TV shows, they come right down in price. And if you want to buy them 4K, yeah, fine, you're going to be paying for them. But if you want to just get them on Blu-ray, which is what you're paying for with the standard edition of Netflix anyway, you'll have them there. And with the amount that I rewatch things like that, they'll pay for themselves within the first 3 months of me buying them. 11 quid a month for Netflix, 95 quid a year for Amazon, 13 quid a month for Game Pass. They won't be that price in 12 months' time. They will go up. It's almost nearly every April when the new fiscal year starts, things go up in price. We see that with postage and all the rest of it. I paid what I paid for this game. Doesn't matter in 12 months whether the price goes up. Doesn't matter tomorrow if this jumps up to 50 quid. I own it already. I don't need to worry about it. There are definitely good arguments as to why streaming services and digital media in general is better than physical. We're not even talking like better for the planet or anything like that. We're talking convenience and in some cases the cost. So if you play a lot of newer games, you watch a lot of newer movies. For example, with the Netflix side of things, like I said with Stranger Things, if you don't have a subscription to Netflix, you can't really watch Stranger Things elsewhere, so that is a bit of a problem. But in most cases, things aren't tied to platforms like that. You can buy over 90% of video games physically. Yes, there are some that are going to be digital only, and this applies more to PC than it does to console, and there are some console games you can't buy physically, blah, blah, blah. However, in most cases, you can buy them physically. Once you've bought them physically, You don't have to worry about ever paying for them again. You don't have to worry about getting a subscription to watch them ever again. And it does come down to video games as well. 360 games in general, PlayStation 3 games, even PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games, they are very, very cheap. Build up those back catalogues. You don't have to spend a fortune on it either. You can be thrifty, you can find things that trade in, give you a little bit extra credit, use that credit to buy these games and these movies and things. Have them there so that you never have to pay for these subscriptions. Because if you think 11 quid for Netflix or 13 quid for Game Pass is expensive now, what are you going to think in 12 months or 5 years from now when the bog standard 1080p Netflix subscription is 20 something pounds? Because I guarantee you, before you know it, it will be creeping up to 15 and then going beyond that and approaching 20, and you'll be like, wow, do you remember when it was 5 quid a month? I have a series video on the way. Look out for that. If you want to check a video from that series where I build a free game collection, you can click here. And until the next time, goodbye.